Hello and welcome back to Desmin's Creek, our 5th edition library that meets on Wednesday nights. Last time, the party had to get a lot of information from a lot of places. Very concerned that the Tiger's Eye's suspected affiliation, suspected to be deeper than simply business associates at least, with the person they believe to be an imposter disguised as Claire Evenhand and ruling the city of Volinar and by extension the country of Bromdor in her name, might make her an unreliable ally should they reveal that this is that they have found out that this is an imposter. So they stashed Claire, disguised as Serena, at an orphanage that Spider directed them to, leaving her there with Morrigan and a bunch of money for the owner of the orphanage. They brought the information they had carefully and asked a lot of questions to the Tiger's Eye as they made report of their activities using the information given them by the Black Rose organization. And during the course of this discussion, seemed to be satisfied that the Tiger's Eye is not so interested in whomever has been pretending to be Claire that she would dispose of the real one. And in fact would be very interested to know why someone thought it necessary to steal this woman's identity and use it for the last 10 years. So feeling a lot better about their affiliation there, the party decided they would bring Claire into the discussion with the Tiger's Eye. But in retrieving her, they wanted to first investigate why everybody seemed to be convinced it was Liberation Day, a holiday none of them had ever heard of before. And all these people are around wearing blue somewhere in their attire, like it's St. Patrick's Day in our world. And they found out that apparently another change has been made. And in investigating deeper into this, they found that a council member of the city who had stood against the rest of the council, against Claire, in making official the integration of the Drow through this celebration, has been removed and replaced with the extremely bigoted man that they had originally transferred to the Drow at the beginning of our story. So these changes are starting to have more and more tangible effects on the world, which is very concerning. But having to set that aside for the moment, the party brought Claire back and had a much deeper discussion with the Tiger's Eye, where they determined just how far this impersonation had gone, and tried to draw out of her details on when and where she was when she was replaced. Feeling that probably their best bet on verifying any of this and perhaps unmasking the imposter would be to bring the time and place to the city's Archmage's spouse, Claire Evenhand, who has a spell just for that sort of thing, as Vulcan has been informed by his father, which definitely isn't a breach of trust.
Vendor tells Vulcan everything.
I also am now convinced that house is only allowed to have a-holes in it, because it was the previous guy we were trying to get rid of, and now it's the new bigoted person. Like, we'll never live there. Not allowed to. Nope. Horrible place to live.
Do we still remember escorting that guy to the Underdark?
It is quickly fading. You do still have some of that, but you find that as you remain close to where this change took place, it is fading, and everybody else seems to be completely oblivious to it. They all are very committed to the idea that Liberation Day has been a celebration ever since it occurred 10 years ago. You may draw what conclusions or postulate what crackpot theories you desire from that information. You do find that that information is getting hazy. The party left off at the end of last session with Serena asking Morrigan to help put her disguise back together since she removed it for the benefit of the Tiger's Eye, so that you might make use of your L4 form at the Mages Guild. So that is where we stand. It is early afternoon, let's say, maybe 2-3 p.m. 2 p.m. As you were, marching about out in the fields and then got teleported in, and then there was a bit of running around to arrange all these things during the course of this discussion. And so that is where I will start you off, as Serena has said, Morgan, if you can help me put this disguise back together, then if you want to take the time today, it would be good to finally get some kind of closure after all these years.
Sure. I'll get my things ready. I'm sure it would be better to do this like in somewhere with a mirror or something.
Yeah, I mean, potentially you are the mirror in some cases, but like there can be better lit or areas with easier access to what you need. I don't know what your domicile is like in that regard. It seemed pretty slapdash the last time we talked about it.
Yeah, no. My place is not the right one. But I'm sure there's like some sort of
there's a rat in there.
Or something.
Should probably make sure
Mine
you
would
feed
probably
that.
work.
I mean, if you offer.
And she got the rat when we went and brought the prisoner down, didn't she? Did she still have the rat?
No, the rat is
True,
from...
we met those rats.
The rat is from when you were... the rat is from when you were delivering medical supplies to some alchemists. The very first job you did.
Yeah.
Many were punched into oblivion, but she managed to save one.
But yeah, we get to an appropriate place, and I will I will reapply the costume.
Okay. Are you going to take Twilight up on her offer then?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Alright. Let's move the three of you over to Twilight's domicile. There you go. You head upstairs to the rather plush apartment space of Twilight. You put on a disguise. The rest of you may choose to leave the Tiger's Eye at this point, but I believe that the plan is to get her disguised up and then potentially head over to the Mages Guild.
That's my understanding.
as well.
But I imagine we should get out of her hair. Unless Desmond, for like the next, 10 minutes, is going to be trying to help with whatever paperwork he can in that time.
Sure, however long it takes, if Desmond wants to remain, he can, but yeah. It does seem that the discussion has come to its natural conclusion, and the Tiger's Eye is not necessary for any further actions. You are dismissed. What do you say, Desmond?
I do want to continue this, but I feel like this is an important matter I must help my team take care of.
Just going to nod and then look at the paperwork and look back to you. Say, we made good progress today. We can come back to it later. I will push it along as well as I can while you are gone. She looks a little displeased after saying that. Moves back around the desk to begin sorting things once more.
Desmond will nod and start heading towards the door, but he'll pause at the door and look back longingly at all the paperwork. He'll just whisper "Don't worry, burn forms. I'll be back."
What was
Wait
that?
for me. Nothing. Tiger's Eye. And they scurries out.
Well, that occurred. She just looks completely overwhelmed still. You can tell she's got that "I think this is a tomorrow" problem look on her face. Alright, so the four of you are waiting for the makeup to be done, which should take just a little bit. The disguising, rather, to be done. So, is there anything that you do during that time, which is, probably 20 or so minutes?
I think that because memory is fading around things, Reggie is going to take the people here in private and bring them up to speed on the results of the spell.
Okay.
He doesn't want to do it with Claire around.
Okay. She's off with Morgan and Twilight, so now is the time.
Yeah. So, you remember how we were talking about what's his fucker? The guy, the asshole. Well, we went to his house, and it turns out, different asshole's house. Bigger asshole, maybe, not clear, but equally asshole. Let's be honest. Anyway, I cast that spell that we learned from our friend out of the city, and I'm trying to figure out what was. It was in the past the past 48 hours.
Yeah, I think it's at least in the thing if I didn't remember to pan it. But it's 72 hours. Within the last 72 hours it happened, but you passed the check to be able to read the aura of it a bit better to nail it down to the last 48. To 2 days ago rather. So it's more accurate.
And we know that the things that they were thinking about when they got rid of asshole were about setting things right and protecting their secrets. I think was the gist of it.
Yeah, so they needed to stay hidden, but also make the world the way it's supposed to be, like setting things to right, but like who's to determine what's right, right?
Yeah, well, they are. They have the power to do so.
They do.
So getting rid of the first asshole, whose name I think Twilight wrote down in her notes because she was taking notes about all this stuff. But honestly, his name doesn't matter. He was a dick.
Dick number one.
That meant that instead, the guy who was in power was that fucker who we brought back to the Drow. Hearn. That's his fucker.
He's now the guy
who's just
who's the council person.
Worse. No, he's not worse. He's just differently worse. He's differently bad.
He's differently bad. He's just really loud about his racism and bigotry.
The hell did he make it back?
Well, because the other guy got undone in time, I don't think he ever was in a position to have fled the city and then, be on the run for us to be able to return to our friends down there. Instead, he got political power like a dick.
Like most dicks.
I mean, most of them are dicks, it's true.
Alright, so the guy
But
who...
I wanted to make sure that everyone here...
The guy who Reggie was aware of because of his grandmother making noise about him was Ontus Burl. He's gone now.
I think Reggie at this point doesn't remember his name.
Yeah, probably.
One doesn't really care enough about him as a person to remember his name to fight against the fading memory of it.
Sure. The new guy you won't have forgotten, because now you remember him even better than you otherwise would have, because he's been there being a noisy racist for 10 years.
On the plus side, though, his gardeners, they're great. Nice people, do fantastic work. He might not know, anything good about anything, but he can at least find people that will hire good people.
Yeah, his name was Garrett Hearn, and my description of him just says activist, parenthetical, bad.
Activist, derogatory.
Yeah. He is the derogatory version of activist.
It just says that he's a pundit. I mean...
Yeah, he really was. Maybe now even more so. Human male, anti-drow rally organizer. Originally picked up in Ebon Guard and delivered to the in-between. No longer the case. Gotta update this.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we all, or at least, those of us here are aware of things. I don't, or out of character, I don't think that we've said anything about the time shenanigans with the Hand of Cass in front of Claire, right?
I think you have managed not to.
Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure that we didn't, talk about this in front of our new friend. No need to add more onto her plate. And we're supposed to be keeping it, a little bit quiet. So we can make sure that Twilight and Morgan are brought up to speed about it when we can. But I didn't want it to slip through the cracks.
Alright, so you have brought the others up to speed on what you learned. How this guy is now there. And everybody can feel that their memories are fading. Memories of, getting this guy into the Underdark and, gagging him so that he couldn't spout his racist
That
bullshit.
suggestion on him so he wouldn't talk.
Yeah. Like, all of that is fading away as the memories are slowly being replaced with the fact that he has been the most outspoken anti-drought counselor in the body politic, and due to his naked racism, he has very little support in the rest of the council. In fact, simply because of his bad personality, it could be surmised that the integration went faster just because other people wanted to spite him on the council.
3 cheers for spite.
A powerful motivator. You bring the rest of the party up to speed on this, get them kind of understanding what's going on. Everybody gets a taste of the fact that this person with the Hand of Cass is still at work, and maybe this one thing they did isn't such a bad thing, but it's still a dangerous power they wield. And in that time, the Morrigan and Twilight will finish up disguising Serena once more, and you people are probably in a quiet corner of the library that Desmin maintains.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable. Just somewhere that would be.
Or you could be in your
quiet.
mushroom farm where you definitely know other people don't want to be.
I make sure that part of the disguise she has blue on her.
Make an insight check.
Why?
To see if it looks good.
Oh. I just want to make sure that she has some blue, because, you know, well, for one, Morgan actually do think this thing is real.
Yeah, she remembers it. It's a great holiday.
And secondly, even if she didn't, she would still do it because everyone else is, and if she doesn't wear blue, she will stand out, and we don't want her to stand out.
Yeah. Find some blue for yourself as well.
Desmond just wears blue naturally.
It's true.
That's a good point. Reggie probably would want to go and find some blue because he actually likes this holiday.
There you go. What about you, Spider? Are you gonna get festive?
Okay, you said insight?
Yeah.
Insight, okay, nothing extra. So 17.
17. Alright. You spot a couple spots where you can touch it up a little, but after that you feel like it looks great.
Okay.
At some point during the reapplication process, Twilight, you're likely to notice Twilight's doing as it seems the recent actions seem to have changed her wardrobe somewhat, and she is not a fan of blue. Utterly despises it, but now there's some in her closet.
Okay, I'm not sure, like, considering that Morgan believes this whole day has always been here, would she even notice you responding like that?
You'd notice she's upset at least. You might not understand what she's upset about unless you ask, but you'd notice she's upset.
Okay. Well, they don't like lending your clothes.
No, my clothes just aren't what they should be.
That's a weird thing to say. You need to go shopping.
Yes, but we'll have to wait. It seems there's something missing from my wardrobe. I'll have to go get a new one.
You think someone has been stealing?
No, difficult to explain. perhaps I can tell you later when we have the time, but for now I will have to make do.
Okay, if you say so. As long as our security is not compromised, I don't care.
Kind of just trail off, muttering to herself. Trying to figure out what to do with this blue monstrosity she's found.
Okay, so you have made your changes. Those who want blue have gotten blue. Serena's recombobulated. And now you are in the library with those who are not there. Hop back up on what you learned. Going after this counselor. What do you do now? Are you going straight to the Mages Guild?
Meet back up, and I see no reason not to ruin this mage's day.
Sounds like a plan.
He wouldn't.
We got the form and everything.
Got the form and everything. Alright, everybody good with going to the Mages Guild?
Yep.
As good as,
Yep.
good as can be.
Alright. We're going to a half-built map, guys. You move through the tunnels and attain the surface. Just as in the previous campaign, the Lightstone Keep is the center of governmental power and is separated from the rest of the old city by this moat, which has now branched out into the waterways that feed all of the different parts of the city and act as a transportation mains, especially for the Syndicate and the other guilds of thieves, but also for a lot of legitimate business as well. So you pass over these bridges and out and around, passing by Lightstone Keep as it stands starkly made out of its light gray and marble white stone gleaming in the afternoon sunlight. And you pass onto what has basically been made by the canals into its own smallish island, as it's completely surrounded by water and connected to the rest of the city by bridges. What is effectively the Magic Quarter, where the Mages Guild exists as two very large buildings connected by like causeways, effectively, to form this almost citadel-like manse. And the area is busy with magical researchers and patrons alike. As you head up to this building, one side of the manse is still largely as it originally was 10 years ago, largely unmodified on the outside, simply added onto by this other building. Though there are now large double doors to enter, and you can see that other people are coming and going as they get what they have come for, or are told that it isn't available to them by the Mages Guild. You stand before this wooden structure on the streets of Volinar. Will you enter it?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. You head up the steps, and through the doors, you find that there is a large and open floor plan room before you, with a cozy fireplace. You can see that there are lots of implements of the trade of magic, especially alchemy, scattered around, variously being used by people wearing the brown and green embroidered cloaks, drab-looking cloaks of the Mages Guild. There are at least 5 apprentices here, all working at some form of magic, several with persons of the city, explaining what it is they're doing magically and how it is that they're going to provide what the person has requested. There's probably 2-3 people who are clearly patrons. The other apprentices are all working at their own projects here, and there is one quite bored-looking female dragonborn stationed behind a desk that faces the door, who apparently brightens as you come in, and says, "Welcome to the Mages Guild. How can we enmagicify your day?"
Oof.
Or ensorcel, or whatever. How can I help you?
Vulcan will look to Desmin. Do you have this form?
Do I? Of course I do.
If it's a tax form, we've already paid them this quarter.
Nope.
She says, looking pointedly at the priest of Arathis.
One L4 for you here.
I'm sorry, I'm certain I didn't hear that correctly. She's going to reach out and take the form that's proffered to her and immediately begin looking it over. With no further information coming from the priest, she reads down the sheet and says... And then quickly, casts a spell over it. You see the page glowing faintly blue as it rises off the table slightly. And then the glow turns green and it slowly drifts back down to the table. That's the genuine article. She's going to kind of straighten up as she looks over the group. She says, "All of you?"
Yes.
You will not be happy about that. Very well. Please follow me. And she's going to move to the back staircase and begin gesturing with her hands that you should precede her down the stairs.
Tristan.
Yeah.
And normally, Morgan would have the axe strapped to her back this time, instead of having it prepared to channel.
Ah, so more overtly armed.
Well, yeah, it's because he doesn't. In case something happens, he doesn't trust that the Mages Guild don't have any spells to prevent her from calling it.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
Yeah, she don't trust the Mages Guild at all. It is, it's like this ruby sort of axe, right? So it opens up, so it is closed, so it doesn't look like an axe.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like a metal backpack.
As you all begin to pass by her to head down the stairs, she does seem to take note of the armors and various items that do or do not look like the weapons they are. And she's just going to say, "I'm certain I don't have to remind you, but the use of weapons, especially against any associates of the Mages Guild or higher rank, is very ill-advised. Again, you have an L4, so I assume you know with whom you're meeting, and that it would be probably even more ill-advised and bad for your health were you to try it."
No such intention, is for my own protection.
You all agree to head down the stairs? Yes?
Yep.
You begin heading down the stairs. And as you get to the bottom, she's going to breeze past you, and she's going to she's going to find a wall there where she touches several glyphs that light up as she does so, and the stone wall slides aside. giving you access to a wider laboratory type area. She's going to say, you will have complete privacy during your time with the Archmages. The other Archmage. But do try to remain respectful. And she's going to quickly bow and say, have an ensorcelled day. And go back up the stairs.
Morgan will grimace at her after she has turned her back. Let's stick her tongue out.
As you enter the laboratory area, you see that there is a white-haired elven man in black and yellow robes with a large tome in one hand, crouching over a magic circle on the floor, slowly adding and removing lines from it that alternately glow or spark as he does so, while a glowing orb of pure light seems to dance around his head and seems to alternately brighten and dim as it drifts. He's going to sigh as you all shuffle into the room. Welcome back. I am just introducing Laramendus.
Nice.
So, the man who was crouched over a magic circle that he was making modifications to, illuminated by a drifting orb of pure light, is going to sigh as he straightens up to his full height to look over at you and says, I really need to have them reduce the number of those forms they put out each year. Party, you are now alone in a room that you have been told is private within the Mages Guild with one of the heroes of the Draco War, the elf Laramendus.
I was under the impression there was a dozen or less of those forms each year. Is it really that much of a problem?
You may take...
That's still too many. I find
One
that the
would be
people who
too many.
use them tend to bring distractions. So, what is the
Let's see if we
current
can
distraction?
make this one an interesting distraction.
You probably shouldn't have stood up before this.
Serena is looking around at you as you all just sort of like vaguely trail off after saying cryptic things, wondering if she's supposed to say something.
Would you like me
stopped-
to bring everyone a chair?
We have need of a specific spell that I believe only you know.
Are you currently a tabaxi?
Yes.
Okay. Laramendus, you instantly recognize a masculine version of Lynn.
So, Laramendus knows of Vulcan's existence?
Yes.
Okay. I take it you're Vulcan.
And cock his head. Yeah, you got that quickly.
You do look the spitting image of your mother.
It is an illusion.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. How did you get one of those forms?
I'm here working with people on my father's behalf. They had the form.
The
In
I
short,
hope
if you
he's
want to
doing
blame
well. It's been a
someone,
while
start
since
with
we've
the
spoken.
priest.
I talked over you, Twilight, so I did not hear what you said.
I said, in short, if you want to blame someone, start with the priest.
So it is you who needs this spell that only I can cast? He turns to the Cleric of Arathos.
I mean, I will take it since I believe I can use it, but we all technically need it.
I remain on tenterhooks.
Blame me for having the correct form. It's not my fault that I'm organized and prepared.
I mean that I am waiting to hear more information about this spell and what its purpose shall be. There are many spells that very few mages other than myself can cast.
Vulcan, I believe that's in your court. Most of us don't know all that much about it.
What was it called again?
The Lamandus historical lens.
So,
Oh, is the spell named after him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
what
I mean,
is it?
How do you make a spell?
It's the wizard's right.
Yeah, he's that level now. Then, yeah, makes sense.
So we have need of your historical lens spell.
That would certainly be one that would be difficult to find another mage to cast.
Is this room secure? No one's listening.
Yes.
Sorry, this is a Dragonborn for scale. I recognize that is not part of the party. He is not there. Yeah, nobody else is here. I noticed an extra token. I'm like, wait, hold on, that person is not there.
I'll go.
I was thinking maybe
There's somebody with like a tray of drinks. Just
oh, fine, I'll go fuck myself, I guess. I think at this point, with all of the talking around the topic and just very slowly coming to that point, Serena is going to burst out and say, "Is it true that you can see what happened in a particular place at a particular time with that spell? If you know those things?"
yes.
I need you to roll insight at, or perception, and then insight, with advantage.
Okay.
EC is going to be 17.
Perception with advantage was a 23.
Alright.
And then insight also with advantage
Yes.
would be a 26.
Okay.
Thank goodness for advantage. I got a 1 as one of the dice on the first one, and a 6 as one of the dice on the second one.
Alright. As this woman has this outburst amongst the group, which draws Laramandus' attention to her, he is going to recognize certain qualities in her voice, and then certain qualities of the shape of her face, though it seems like pains have been taken to hide many of her features that might give her away. And you feel like you can't put your finger on why it would be the case, but the leader of the city is here in disguise.
Laramandus looks very confused. He's just like, Claire, I don't think you need that form to come and see me.
You...
And, I don't know if... Would Doppelganger Claire be aware of this spell?
I don't think you really shared it with anybody outside the party, however far they shared
I
it,
think-
though. Now that you've got
I don't-
Vulcan
I don't
spilling
think
your
that-
beans.
there will be some words with Vulcan, but so yeah, I don't think that you need that form to come see. Although I do appreciate getting rid of one that's being held by the Temple of Arathis.
She's
Is
going to
there a
like
particular
quickly
reason
like
you
pull up the like the neck of her shirt like around her chin and says, "I'm Serena. Who's Claire?"
God damn it! What's
Do I need
my
to roll a
makeup?
different insight?
No, she is doing a very bad job.
Okay.
Yeah, and Morgan just like giving up. God damn it! Wasn't my makeup? Did I do a bad job? I thought it was good.
It was good.
There are few people in this city who end up spending sufficient times with the one in charge to have seen through that, but I am one of them. Is there a reason why you came to the Mages Guild in disguise? And I thought you had appointments today. I was banking on that.
So see, this is part of why we need the historical lens.
Okay. She's going to make a play. She's going to she's going to let go of the neck of her outfit and kind of try and straighten herself up and look imperious, and she's going to look at you, Laramentis, in a way that Claire has never looked at you before, like with this very commanding and imperious expression, scowl on her face, as she says, "I need you to perform this spell in my palace for me and not ask questions, mage."
And he just looks incredulous.
At this point, Morgan will just lean against the wall with her arm crossed and raise an eyebrow.
Like chin as high in the air as it'll go, where she can still look down at you. She looks nervous.
Well, something appears to be different.
Yes.
Oh, you have no idea. Vulcan, are you sure we can share everything with this guy? If so, we might as well.
Yes, it should be safe.
He doesn't need to know until he sees the spell. She's gonna like shrink down and say,
Oh.
"Why would he believe it
If
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 I
so much
know
reason
what
to
I'm
hide
looking
from
for, if I know what it is I'm supposed to be looking for with this spell, it can help me figure out what and where and exactly what you'll need from me.
I know an exact time, exactish, and location. I need you to show us what happened then and there. Anything else this group wants to tell you will be more believable once the spell has been cast. If it works the way I've been led to believe."
Well, she's not wrong about that.
What is the time range that you would like to see?
There are roughly 4 hours. Around noon of, and she gives the date that you all that the original party all teleported back to Bromdor when the takeover happened.
I assume that Laramentis recognizes that date.
Oh yeah, he's got eidetic memory and just lots of other things
he'll
that would
go-
help him to be able to recognize the year, the day, the month, all of that, kind of narrowing it down. As she says it, you go, "Oh."
That is a dangerous time window to be in the palace. May I ask for a little bit more information about why? Or is this to remain a secret until after a 9th level spell?
She's going to... Go ahead.
Going to look at Serena and say, with any opposition we might counter, I think it is best we state things up front, despite how far-fetched they will seem. That Claire that you see before you...
She's just shaking her head like, no.
The real Claire, but not the one you know. At least not the one you've known for the last few years.
It seems that 10 years ago, just after you and Father and the party entered the castle, the real Claire here was kidnapped, and an imposter had taken her place. And that is the Claire that you found in the castle that day. Miss Claire has been in a prisoner of the Drow for the last 10 years.
And what exactly are you intending to glean from viewing this time at that place?
No, one, to verify that she is who she says she is, and that the imposter is in fact the one on the throne.
You seek definitive proof of which is which. With that time window, if we can find one, we should be able to confirm that there were, well, one person in multiple places at once, with the one having been kidnapped being the real one.
This proof you're seeking by viewing this is the testimony of the priest of Arathas? Or will come from the testimony of the priest of Arathas? Is that why he's here? Or is it my testimony, which is why one of the reasons for me participating in this?
Well, we need you
Or
for
is it
the
just
spell.
to sate your own curiosity?
We need you for the spell, and then eventually, I imagine, we'll need the priest's testimony. But, as you can imagine, at least if you believe us, this information coming out undelicately will cause a quite severe problem. Well, several. We are hoping to make things as calm as possible for whenever this information does inevitably come out. But for that, we need information.
Well, this can certainly give us that. Is there anything else that you all wish to discuss or determine before we head to the palace?
She's going to...
This is going to be the safest place to have those kinds of conversations.
I'm interested in why you've never come to see me. The rest of the group did.
I think Lerman was not expecting that. Seems a bit taken back.
Neither was Serena.
Just blindsided.
She looked like she was about to say
I don't
something.
believe that your father invited me.
Staring baldly at him.
And both of us have been very busy.
True. Working on similar things. Seems like you should be working together. I very much would like to have progress on this, as it would allow me freedom that
Us working together
desperately
would
wish.
provide you freedom? How so?
I can't currently travel very well because I have a limited power source. I need to recharge every night. So I need to be near a power. I need to be near my charging station. Ideally, if we could find a way to better store power, I wouldn't need to charge. I would be able to travel.
Twilight just glances at the thing's arcing power around them.
That is a area of particular interest of mine, especially so close to Elsamonth Day. I hadn't considered asking Vendar if he had had any particular breakthroughs, though. It might make things easier. He just starts to, like, go away from you all to start, like, writing things down. It's like, nope. I need to finish the form. But you have some amount of capacity for storage, which means he has begun to solve this problem.
Yes. I can last about 24 hours before I run dry. But I require a lot of energy.
Do you happen to know how? He goes back to his notes.
Vulcan will explain how.
Serena's starting to look just outright indignant at this point.
Yeah, sure. Let's just take over the conversation. Bring out family trade secrets. No one will be upset at that.
No, I doubt any.
You have
what I'm
pointed
saying anyway.
Larmandus back at the work he's doing.
Yes.
Instead of.
I
true,
thought
we
that he
should-
had turned away from them to go to take notes.
Yeah, no, he like this stuff with Vulcan. He is now no longer like asking about the spell and all. He's like continuing taking notes where he was and everything.
It went from a distraction
seems
to
distracted.
assistance.
But they are right. We should probably take care of what we came here to take care of. So I would love to come back and talk to you and work with you some more. If that would be alright.
How long are you in the city for?
The foreseeable future.
So, until he gets arrested.
Yes, that is fairly likely here. That's why I'm in the illusion. I can't walk around freely in the city.
That has always been a frustrating law that got passed. But yes, we need to go into the palace and cast the spell. Let me just. He goes into like a side room, and you hear the sound of like things shifting. Something falls.
As things clatter, Serena's just going to like kind of approach the door and call inside without like moving in front of the doorway. Say, "You said I have meetings and business to conduct today. Does that mean I am in the palace or not?"
Voice in the sky. I'm pretty sure we had said that at the very least we.
You know that she's away for good portions of the day, and you know when those are.
Yeah. Larmandus shares what he. If my memory of your schedule or of Claire's schedule is
Easier
correct,
just to say mine.
and
Safer too.
if my memory of the schedule is correct, then this is we will be fairly safe going during. He gives a time frame. The spell does require us to be there for the duration of the time that we wish to see. There is not any kind of faster speeding up through anything. I'm going to. He comes out with like a handful of he's holding the spyglass in one hand. It looks just as ostentatious as the one that Vulcan had, and he has like a bunch of the grenades. Effectively, they are much smaller. He says that he's like, oh wait, I don't. He puts them in a bag that's like on his desk, and he's like, okay, that's much easier now.
Twilight's gonna point to the spyglass and say, "You have one of those too? Did you get a group rate or something.
I wish. Well, that's a dangerous thing, I suppose to say. But it would have been nice if the craftsman could have provided a decent rate. I've had a few made. Do you work with them often?
I don't, but I've seen Vulcans.
Yes, I have access to my father's.
Laramie just brightens at that and is like, do you have it on you?
We'll pull it out.
You recognize
Still
your
beautiful.
original spyglass.
Do you mind if for the sake of nostalgia, we use that as the focus?
Sure.
Wonderful.
I do have one question. Will your authority alone be enough to occupy a section of the palace for that long?
Yes, I can get people to be away from where we need to be for long enough. I don't think that we can easily go through the entire 24 hours of the spell, but I can dispel it and everything will be fine. If any of you have weapons and the like that you would like to leave here instead of trying to bring into the palace, or any kind of contraband of that matter, then you may want to do that.
Voice in the Sky, are magic items in general contraband?
Around royals? Yeah. They wouldn't
Do you
want
think-
you going in and rigging the place to explode when she came back.
Do you think I will be an issue? I am very magical. And contraband.
I assume I believe that Laramendus can get Vulcan in.
Laramenda should be able to get the whole group
Reasonably?
in, but also, like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine things have advanced significantly, not terribly significantly, since the previous, it's only been the 10 years, and, like, people,
Yeah.
when you went to, when you went to the Tower of Everwatch, it was basically just a guard at the door saying, please deposit all of your weapons here, you need to leave your bag of holding with us. Nobody was, like, scanning you.
Yeah, so as long as you aren't attempting to cause trouble, I think that we can get you in and out. I do highly recommend that none of you attempt to cause trouble.
So, where shall I leave my things?
He points to an area of this room and says this will be... No one but me will be able to access this room until we're back.
Yes, I know Wall for Door does seem to do that.
So,
Twilight will disarm.
is everybody going to leave weapons here to retrieve them after being at the palace, or risk it and take them with them?
I'll have one knife on me that I intend to hand over once I'm there, but I'm at least making sure the pistols are not on my person.
How many Derringers is it these days?
Just two. Only ever been two. These are expensive.
You gotta have like 20.
No. 2 Derringers, 3 knives, 1 whip. Strip back to just 1 knife for now. So we get jumped in the street or something. Seems unlikely, but you never know. Of course, only you know if we're going to be using the street.
One day, someone will go full Meryl Strife. Alright, so... those that are disarming here, do so. Those that are not, at your own peril, you are going to follow Laramendus away from the Mages Guild and over to Lightstone Keep. Lair.
Yeah.
Are you simply going to bring them in under the authority of your name, or are you going to, like, toss mage skill robes on them and be like, apprentices learning a magic?
That's a fair point. That would probably mean that
I
we
could bluff a
don't.
magic if necessary.
Yeah, sticking them all in robes and taking them all in as we're about to do a magic is probably going to be easier, or just like a quicker conversation than anything else.
The location in the palace that she's going to take you to does have a beautiful view of the bay. There's any number of, like, excuses you could want them practicing there or learning from you there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. You have plenty of apprentice robes that can be tossed on them here. They are just cloaks that go over your clothing, so you don't have to change or anything like that.
Oh, thank goodness. Something for the
If this does make any of you interested in joining the guild, it is magic is always a fun thing.
Alright, we will head over to Lightstone Keep. Right, so you head across the bridge, the afternoon light, to Lightstone Keep. This is a place that you visit with some frequency, Lair, but given the information that was revealed to you in the previous conversation, you find yourself picturing the day in the rain when you had to fight your way here, and the front portcullis and door was smashed open by a flying elephant.
Hi, Jebel.
Gotta love the old fastball special. Is the gate not replaced in all that time?
I just didn't make one because I don't know a cool enough one. It's there.
Oh. Well, my guess is it probably has more to effect because none that are 3 wide.
Got a commemorative plaque on it.
In memory of the door. There are a pair of guards there that, seem to ready themselves a bit as this group starts marching down the bridge, but they quickly recognize the colors of the Mages Guild, and they see Laramendus at the front of it, and they straighten up and salute. And they say, the Dragonborn there says, "I'm sorry to tell you, sir, that the lady of the house is out at this time. She should be back in the next few hours, though."
I'm going to be taking my associates here up for a little lesson upstairs, so...
Giving new blood the tour.
I find it's always a useful thing to do.
Well, alright. If you need the lady, though, just a few hours, she should be back in residence. He's going to, kind of bend down, wave with a toothy reptilian grin at all the new blood, as it were. Welcome to the city.
Reggie smiles and waves.
The group is quiet. He's just going to kind of, straighten back up. He's going to say, "They really are fresh off the island, aren't they?"
Don't worry, we'll get them used to the city soon enough.
All right, on your way. You head through the palace. There are a couple ways to get there, so I guess it isn't necessary to go through the throne room, but they do expect you to be giving a tour, so you could.
Oh yeah, Laramandus is happy enough to give the tour as we're going up there, just to deal with the cover story and all that.
Get all the tokens. Kind of follow me through here, because I did actually. This is an excuse. Say with no small amount of pride, I did recreate nearly grid square for grid square the palace as it was when you Dragonborn for scale. Get out of here.
Here, I thought the gate guard just follows us around. No good reason.
It was a different Dragonborn. Anyway, so you're able to move through. The palace is fairly simple, if not straightforward. It's almost like, as this place used to be a fortress town, the palace itself was designed as a fortification unto itself. That once you were inside, you were put into narrow hallways that had to be navigated to get anywhere important. But you do make your way to an open throne room with a massive bay window that looks out over the harbor, where you can see the many expansions that have been made out there, and the many large merchant vessels, as well as Brumdor-colored warships that are anchored out there. You do find that there is a small plaque in the corner of the throne room indicating the some slightly discolored stones, claiming it as one of the sites of the great battles of the Draco War, where fell a mighty Behir at the hands of the Champion of Cord.
It's one of my favorite Uncle Raiken stories.
Just smells
Since he
faintly of
doesn't remember
ozone
it.
whenever you're in the room.
That smell just never goes away.
Is that a Raiken story Raiken doesn't remember?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, Laramandus will say,
Well,
next time you see him, do make sure to tell him that.
Oh, I do pretty much every time I do. That and the table story.
That and the table.
We still haven't moved to that table.
What's the deal with the table?
I'm not sure. Is it
yeah.
glued in place or something?
No, he just didn't want to push it.
Magically adhered? No?
No. Just solid wood.
Shameful. Strictly shameful.
At this point, though, once you get up the stairs to the second floor of the keep, that is when Serena will move to the front of the group and lead you into the room, pointing to the bed and table in here, saying, "Here. This is where it was done."
All right. Laramandus will reach into his bag and pull out the spell devices that you had seen him grab, and he hands one to everyone. He says, holding this button will put you under the effects of an invisibility spell. I highly recommend that you remain under the effects of this spell while we are observing events. As our presence can influence how the events play out. The way things work, we are effectively present at the memory of the time. We cannot change history, but we can interact with it, which is the reason for the invisibility. So if we want to see how things play out, then we need to be not seen. Another thing to be cautious of is that while under the effects of the spell, any injuries that you acquire can still happen to you. There's a psychic feedback to the spell, which is another reason for the invisibility. So, be safe.
Well, that's fun. Not scary at all.
There are many reasons why very few people know about the existence of this spell, and as he says that, he looks towards Vulcan very pointedly. And why that should remain so, and as he says that, he looks over everybody else. This will be a 9th level spell, so that we can watch a sufficient enough amount of time. So, I suppose you are getting the most out of that form, as could be expected. So, I hope that whoever was the one that acquired it appreciates that. Are there any other questions before we dive in?
Serena's going to, she's holding the grenade in her hand that makes her invisible, sort of like turning it over in her fingers, and she just says, so, even though we could interact with it, we can't actually change anything. It would just be, what? An interpretation?
Yes. Interacting with things is a good way to see how things could have played out if something else had happened. Or to glean information from people in the past.
Don't get any ideas. I know this will be uncomfortable to look at. So just keep control. Don't interact.
She doesn't say anything. She looks a little upset, but she nods, very curtly at that. In a kind of fine, I won't gesture. But she does continue to stare at the small grenade in her hand before saying, Nalia help you develop this spell.
Out of character...
No.
I don't remember how much back and forth for this spell Laramanda's had with her.
Not a lot, if any. He was pretty independent in developing this one, and all of the inspiration came from outside of her presence.
Yeah. She has been instrumental in the safety precautions that one may take when one is in the midst of the spell. But the function of it itself is more tied to my experiences and learnings away from her during the Draco War.
She nods more solemnly at that and just clutches the small grenade to her chest. Okay. I think that it was, it would have been around noon when I was first brought here. And the, things happened, but I can't be certain what they were. A few hours later, I am led to believe that is the heroes bursting into the keep. So I would start at noon if we aren't to spend 12 hours wading through things that aren't of interest.
Very well. If there is nothing else that anyone wants to ask before we use the spell, once we are in the midst of the spell, communication amongst ourselves will be limited, unless we wish to make ourselves known.
don't suppose that spell has any kind of fast forward button
No,
in case we're having trouble finding what it is we need.
no.
Unfortunate.
Nothing can be perfect.
Life is ever the struggle for perfection, never the achievement. As Nalia used to say.
When she had said the first bit, Laramandus does smile.
You begin to cast your spell. Looking through the spyglass and marking out the edges of the room. All of you witness as the clockwork etchings on the sides of the telescope begin to glow with a silvery light and appear to ratchet and turn against one another, as though powering the device in some way. You almost get the sense that you can hear the whine and clink of the gears striking one another. As slowly a border around the edge of the room materializes and casts you into utter darkness as the space fills with shadow. And then slowly the shadows lighten and fade into a haze and then a fog, and you see the interior of the room in which you already stood, only now, rather than lit by the brilliant oranges of late afternoon, it is dim and streaked with the shadows of sheets of rain falling through a gray sky. You hear wind howling and thunder rolling as rain pours down upon the balcony outside and flows over the border of stone there, entering the room at its edge. The room is cold and full of wind, and the candles and torches that illuminate from within are whipped about and gutter as you hear voices as slowly bodies materialize around you. You can hear the sobs of Claire, Serena, as a haughty voice says, Now, enough of that. I only want answers, not to hurt you. As the bodies in the room around you resolve, gaining detail and realism, you recognize a blindfolded Claire in roughed up and soaked through clothing, with a Mage's Guild cloak sprawled on the bed behind her, and a large, muscular tabaxi standing over her. At this, as these images resolve, Serena is going to gasp suddenly, audible through her invisibility, and the tabaxi is going to stop and look around. And he's going to point, and you're going to see another shadow in the room resolve into a drow guard. He says, There might be spies about. Have a look. As he points at this drow, you notice two interesting things about this tabaxi. Three interesting things about this tabaxi. One, he is somewhat larger than you expect a tabaxi to be, almost on the scale of a dragonborn. 2, he is tiger striped. Perfect replica of the pattern of a tiger. And 3, as he points at the guard in the corner and orders him to look for this supposed spy, you notice that the fingers on his pointing hand curl the wrong way, that the palm is on the back of his hand, as though somebody simply took his left hand and surgically attached it to his right arm. As the drow nods a very informal salute and leaves the room, he's going to turn back to the Claire on the bed. Say, "Now then, isn't that better all alone, just the two of us? I only need to know some simple things. What you do from day to day, the types of magic you practice, and the names of all your associates in the doing. Easy things." What plays out before you is a long and drawn-out interrogation as the Claire of the past struggles to give the answers the Tabaxi wants. Resisting at first, and as he growls and threatens and strikes the bedposts, becoming more and more afraid for her life in spite of his repeated assurances, "I don't want to hurt you, but I will do what I have to for the answers I need. You only need to be alive, not intact." And slowly she gives up these answers. He watches. He paces the room, asking slowly deeper and deeper questions, probing into her past and her personality, her childhood, the types of aspirations she had, and why she joined the Mages Guild. You see that he writes none of it down, seeming to roll each new piece of information into his mind and asking another question to help him form a picture of her. And eventually, you're going to hear, between the peals of thunder, the clang and clash of steel echoing outside the building, as he chuckles to himself and says, "Oh, things are getting interesting out there. Come along now, we have much to cover and not a lot of time to do it." And he begins asking questions faster, until you start hearing shouts inside the stone building, and the slap of feet running through the halls and trudging down the stairs. As he curses, he says, "Damn, it'll have to do." And you're going to watch as he whistles and a drow materializes, pushing their way through the whipping curtain on the balcony, and says, "I've gotten all I can from her. You, go, take her." And he bundles her out the window. And the room goes quiet and still for several minutes, as the Tabaxi stands there, arms folded over his chest, seemingly deep, deep in thought, before his feline mouth splits again in a smile, and he lets out a long breath and a chuckle. And then his body begins to change. As you continue to hear the fighting going on, echoing through the hallways up the stairs, you begin to hear the voices below, a conversation, though difficult to make out, several voices questioning another, this deep and malevolent but imperious voice from below saying, "You didn't know, you never questioned," as this transformation continues, until finally what is standing in the room is an exact replica of Claire. She looks around, hearing more clashing going on. She quickly sits upon the bed, splashes water on her face, and begins crying.
May I roll to identify this creature? Because Derek knows what it is, but I don't want to just jump in with that.
Yeah, you're gonna need to roll Arcana. You know, but your character might not.
I don't think I can even roll high enough to identify it if I were to guess, but we're gonna try.
Can I roll too?
You may all. Arcana.
Vulcan's really good at Arcana. So.
14.
14. Alright, let's hear what else we got.
And that was with my inspiration.
18.
Nice.
I'm not gonna waste my inspiration, but I'm definitely not gonna make it. Let's see.
26.
26.
So, quick question. Would a 19 have done it?
I mean, a 14 is going to give you some information. It's not going to tell you exactly what it is. Would a 19 have told you exactly what it is? I don't think so.
So
Yeah, I don't
wasn't
think an
really
8 is
possible.
gonna do anything.
Yeah, but it's always worth a try, and you would still have more information than not.
Indeed. Just wish I didn't have to dump 8, but there's too many stats, not enough points.
That's okay. So we got the 14, we got an 18, we got a 26. What was it, Morgan?
8.
8. Nice.
Yeah, so just ignore me. I have no clue.
I mean, technically Lara Mendes is there, so...
Is there anybody better at Arcana than Vulcan? It would be Lair.
He's having internet issues, so he may not hear you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's not in the.
Oh yeah, he's not even in
bar
the
right now.
Discord.
Damn. Okay. That is unfortunate. You can type things into the stream chat if that is working, but if it's not, then yeah, and I can at least hear those questions then. Anyway. So with an 8, you know that is one big, mean tabaxi, and you would love to kick him in the nuts.
Yep.
With a 14, you know that is not a tabaxi. Not even a spellcasting tabaxi is going to be quite like that. You're not sure what exactly it is. But it's probably not even humanoid. With an 18 and being the follower of a god, you feel quite confident that is a shape-shifting devil. And with a 26, all of your father's knowledge and then a little bit more just sort of encyclopedically injected on the side. You've not got any stories from Vendar about these, but they are a known quantity by the Temple of Ione. So from a record that made it into you from them, you would recognize, if not details about how they function, that its description seems to match, Vulcan, a devil called a Rakshasa.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the ones with the hands that are a long way around.
Yeah. In the absence of Sam, I would say that this would be a moment probably where Ash would speak up and say, "Oh dear, That is a very dangerous creature. Rakshasa are known for their singular diet of humanoids and their love of positions of power. Serena is...
So, has the spell collapsed or anything by this point, or is he speaking up while it's still going on?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I imagine you've gotten all the important information, you know, unless you wanted to proceed up to when Leah comes up here, finds her, gets attacked by a wizard, Lynn appears, kills the wizard, and then they go on a wizard hunt together.
I mean, Twilight would probably want to see that so that it connects to known events. So that there's kind of a unknown link to this is definitely the imposter, and it's definitely the one that was saved. But there's no room for vagaries.
Reasonable enough.
At some point in the future.
Then the recording will continue until she is removed from the area of the spell, going out through those doors and disappearing. Well, I guess she doesn't disappear since even though the spell ends at the doors, the illusion appears to extend deeper, but she seems to go down the stairs with Leah and Lynn. And at that point, Laramundus would let the spell lapse. Are you back, Sam?
I think so. I hope
right.
so.
I'm so sorry. That sucks really bad.
I will catch the recording for the what happened during the spell.
Damn. Did you end up missing all of it?
Yes, I dropped almost perfectly, like when the spell was first cast. You just were describing like the rain and everything.
Yeah.
And then I dropped.
God damn. All right. Well, the recording is there. It's true. I'll go through it with you.
Yeah.
But
I also poofed a little bit right before that. But I came back in. I came back enough to actually catch
it's a bad internet day, apparently.
No, for me I yanked off the power cable again.
Oh, you should move it.
It can't. Trust me, this room is impossible to set up differently. It's remarkable I managed to set it up at all.
All right. Well, so, sorry to just jump you in at, so the spell ends, because the subject, leaves, and, the stories say that, you know, this is the point when, the leader of the city was rescued by the heroes of the Draco War, and they went down to negotiate an unsteady peace with the, drow who had taken the city. To recap the important thing for our returning player, the players rolled for knowledge upon seeing the creature that was interrogating Claire, and determined through a couple very good successes that it is a devil called a Rakshasa. And Ash informed the party that this is a very dangerous creature to tangle with, as they subsist entirely on humanoid flesh and seek positions of power to disguise themselves in.
Then why didn't it eat Claire?
Good question.
I mean, it was very rushed at the time. It wasn't like, I just see how quickly that thing had to start taking on its role. There wasn't time to so much as start a meal, let alone finish one.
Well, you moved her to the Underdark. Could have just saved her.
Where?
If there is no more business here, perhaps this conversation should be continued elsewhere.
Indeed.
You are going to return then, perhaps, to the Mages Guild?
Unless anyone gives a reason to not. Laramentis will also collect the invisibility.
Yeah, the invisibility grenades.
Things. I hope that everyone gives them back.
Yes.
What? Sorry, I never got one. I was invisible on my own. Definitely.
Oh. Okay. My phone connected to my headset, even though I thought my Bluetooth was off, so I missed people lighting up after I had said that Laramentis collects the things.
Predictably,
Yeah,
Twilight did not return the hers.
I was just cracking jokes. I give it back. I don't know. Look, if I could reasonably steal one, I would, but I can't.
You could certainly try, but Laramentis does know how many he gave, and he's a 20th level wizard.
Who the hell gave this guy enough intelligence to be able to count?
Yeah, it's the same situation with Morgan. She knows she won't be able to get away with it anyway, so she gives it back.
Alright, so is anybody against heading back to the Mages Guild to have any subsequent discussion about what was witnessed? Okay. In the absence of objection, we will head back to the Mages Guild. As you head out of the palace back across the bridge, the soldiers out the front gates are going to salute and say, "Yeah, sorry she didn't come back yet, but maybe you'll be able to catch her later, sir."
I'm sure our paths will cross again as soon as they need to.
You know how she loves to inspire the young minds of the Mages Guild with her presence. And as you get about halfway down the drawbridge, you're gonna suddenly hear a whistle and a pop, and above the keep, you're going to see a blue sparkle of flame, like a firework going off, and the soldiers seem to ready their weapons and look up and then relax and go, "Oh, somebody's setting up for the celebration, and one went off early, I guess."
Yeah, things going off early a lot. Common problem for you.
They're fireworks. They're a little unpredictable. They're not magical. There's a reason we regulate the non-magical stuff here. It does that.
Twilight simply nods and then turns away with a smirk.
What was that, Morgan?
I didn't say anything.
It was me.
Oh. What did you say?
I was going to say only if you don't handle them properly.
Alright. That's not the button I wanted to push. That's also not the button I wanted to push.
So that's what that looks like.
Everything outside the room disappeared and you're just in a floating island of stone?
I was for a moment, yeah.
Alright, we'll go back to the Mages Guild. There it is. Not that. Keep clicking the wrong button. Full players. Huh. Oh, that's right. It's because you're not a... Gotcha. I'm like, why is Laramentis still here? It's like, oh, right, because I didn't make him unique.
There are many Laramendi.
Apparently there... Yes, there are many Laramendi. Morgan... Reggie... Spider... Twilight... Vulcan... Dusk... Desmin... Okay, that should be everybody. You return to the Mages Guild. You go back to the private laboratory that Laramentis was working in, where Whereupon, Serena is going to immediately request any type of vessel that can hold fluid.
One appears as if by magic.
She empties her stomach into this vessel. And as she breathes raggedly before setting it away from her, around the corner of the wall probably, she says, that monster replaced me?
Yes, this is worse than we thought.
How is that possible? What is that?
I believe it is a
kitty cat?
Rakshasa. I've only read about them.
Morgan?
Oh no, I just said it was a big kitty cat.
Big kitty cat, yeah. You see her, clearly thoughts racing. She says, Rakshasa? The devils?
Yes. Definitely an evil being. Whatever its intentions are, they've been beneficial. It's probably not the intention. Just a side effect.
But why me? Why is it impersonating me, of all people?
Not sure. Maybe it was your position as...
I'm more concerned how many... oh, sorry, go ahead.
Like how close you were with Nalia, maybe that's why.
I'm more concerned about how many humans it has eaten in the last 10 years.
Yes. Have there been disappearances in the city that are unexplained? Because that's probably why.
Yep, there are several every month.
And likely is significantly more than that. Those are just the ones
I
that
remember back
managed
when
to
there were
avoid suppression.
disappearances, and it was like, yeah, we don't got time to look into that. That explains things.
I did say I was laying breadcrumbs.
Yep.
It just turns out that they were sweet breadcrumbs.
I wonder how many people's eat in 10 years.
How many is it going to eat if we let it stay in power?
We're not gonna let it.
Yes, that's
Right-
definitely not an
right,
option
wizard?
anymore.
Yeah, right, wizard? As I'm looking at Larry Mendes.
Wizard.
I will confirm this with the voice in the sky. I imagine that my position in the Mages Guild
Yep.
ties my hands considerably
Uh-huh.
when it comes to even a situation such as ousting a devil from power.
If they want to start talking about potentially taking out the person who's currently running the city, regardless of what species they
Larry
are,
Mendes is going to have to kick him out, so...
this is dangerous territory for you.
Yeah. If we
Larry Mendes is
were-
going to say at that to Morgan, be like, the Mages Guild has to maintain a certain level of distance from the intricacies of the political systems. If you are going to be having conversations in that line, I would have to ask you to leave and hand over that L4, which has been used.
It's
Bullshit.
unfortunate.
We're talking about something that endangers lives here. You save the world from dragons, but can't get rid of one devil?
I was not part of the Mages Guild at the time. My hands are considerably more bound than they were.
Yes,
He's
it is
made his bottom line
unfortunate
clear.
that they didn't
Let's
discover
not-
this 10 years ago.
See,
Not
this is why I
alien,
don't
and at
like
least
the
get
Mrs.
what
Guild.
information we can before we discuss potential next steps. Claraminus, what do you know of these creatures?
Do I roll an Arcana, or did you roll an Arcana for me for when it became?
I just had Ash give
Ash
one
should
piece of
learn
insight
information.
who would have this information.
Yeah.
You can roll Arcana, but I mean, I just imagine that, like, he's pretty good about it. You probably have pages dedicated to demons and devils, especially because at the beginning, you know, before all the growing apart things, like, Vendar had been quite interested in what was going on in the Hells, so you probably got some notes on that.
Yeah. So Laramendus will provide the information that he has about Rakshasas.
Alright, so then in that vein, I will speak for you and say that Laramendus is able to tell you that Rakshasas are among some of the most dangerous and devious of the devils. If they're not the most powerful, they're definitely intelligent and capable of leveraging that to their advantage. They subsist entirely on humanoid flesh, and they spend a great deal of time figuring ways out of the Hells and how to stay out of the Hells. This is usually why they find their way into positions of power, where the things that they do won't be questioned, and they have the authority to move things around to stay elusive to those that might be trying to find them out. He's also aware that they're incredibly magic resistant, like insanely magic resistant, to the point that, like, they're immune to spells of 6th level and lower.
I assume that makes banishment out of the question.
Yeah, I believe the banishment is a 5th level spell, and I think that their magic resistance includes upcasting, doesn't it?
I couldn't find that verbiage in the 5th edition book, but I know that was the case previously, so I just need to find that verbiage to know that that is still true. But that is my understanding, is that upcasting is not a way to get around their immunity.
From the last time,
Global
fought
invulnerability
one.
functions that way, so.
What was that, Derek?
The last time I fought one, upcasting didn't seem to be prohibited.
Yeah, like I said, when I looked at their entry, I didn't see any verbiage about it, but when I was instructed on Rakshasas years ago, upcasting did not work. So I just need to see if I can find
upcasting
anything
was
to
also-
support that. Currently, I don't have anything in writing supporting that, just what I was taught about them.
Yeah.
And the fact that global invulnerability functions that way.
But global invulnerability is also a 7th level spell?
It's just a separate power, is why it's not a great
Regardless,
example.
it shouldn't matter for us, because none of us are even capable of 7th level spells in the first place. But it does make me bring up the question of, how the hell was it getting Claire's sendings?
Man.
If it was immune to those spells in the first place.
And perhaps it has something to do with the ring on the real Claire's finger, or the device.
What device?
Well, now she looks really uncomfortable.
You should show him. He might be able to tell us more about it.
Anyone can help us.
She looks betrayed.
Right. We hadn't brought it up for a reason, she says, looking at Vulcan.
I think Laramendus will look at Claire, and there is a lot of, like, hesitation in his voice, but he will say, if you do not believe that this might be linked, you do not need to share it.
She's scowling, but she says, reality is I don't know. Something that Drow did. It take away my magic. I can't cast any spells anymore. I can't be a mage. And very, very grudgingly, she's going to tear the glove off of her hand and slowly just hold it up between them, looking away, showing that she is missing the ring finger of her right hand, and clamped down over the bloody stump is a bracket of black iron with elven script on it.
Can I
Horse
read
in the
it?
sky. Does that iron resemble the soul coin?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't resemble a soul coin. Can you read it? The bits that are visible are somewhat legible. This bracket is pierced into her flesh, so some of the writing is lost beneath. But the parts that you can see seem to talk about sealing.
Mm-hmm. Do I recognize this as very similar to the ring that the Drow had used on the woman's name escapes me?
Oh,
The sister of...
Fulbury.
Yes.
Fulbury Lionborn. You recognize that the effect sounds like it's similar, and the metal is certainly similar, but this looks like some hellborn monstrous twisting of that. It is clearly not the same device, though it may have come from the same mind.
Yeah. If its function is solely around sealing magic, I'm not certain that it would be tied to this intercepted sending. I will roll Arcana, though. That is a 19 on die, which gives me a 39.
There isn't anything on the ring that you can see that indicates it has anything to do with the intercepted sending. However, this is not the first time you've heard about intercepted sendings.
Yeah. I was going to ask if we ever learned anything about that Lich.
Other than that he is still out there causing small enough problems to never be hunted to death, no.
God, one day.
Did we ever find Christopher? Or what remained of him?
No.
Oh,
Poor
poor
guy.
Christopher.
So the Church of the Raven Queen never, or the Temple of the Raven Queen never managed to, like, pin down what was going on with we never got an answer about, like, via the Lich about what he was doing with the intercepted sendings.
No. I mean, you you imagine if he was truly intercepting your sendings, he was trying to get you to poison a population for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's me being like, would Laramendus have any more information about this mechanism for intercepting sendings than he did, 10 years ago?
Given that all of the mechanism of it would have been applied directly to a person that you never found. You don't have any. But that could mean that the secret of that is with Christopher, meaning that if the same thing is being done, she might have the answer to that. That is a non-distant logical leap.
Yeah. So Laramendus will say, there was another instance that we had come across of very clearly intercepted sendings. But we never were able to locate the person involved. And so I don't have particular information about the magic that might have been involved. It's possible that the magic was cast or bound onto him, which means we might be able to try and see what we can see, what might be going on with Claire, if that is something that she wants to pursue. But I cannot be certain that that is what is happening, or if there's some other mechanism in place, some other device, some other spell that doesn't necessarily require being with the person who would have received the sendings.
So just to quickly recap, because it is important to what I am about to have the character say. Laramendus, you were there in the spell and witnessed what everybody else witnessed, because I know you weren't in the call at the time, unfortunately. You saw this interrogation of Claire 10 years ago by this Rakshasa, and then when the sounds of the heroes of the Draco War entering the palace became something he couldn't ignore anymore, he ordered her taken away, and then he transformed into her. So, if you trust your spell, then it is beyond the shadow of a doubt that she was replaced by a Rakshasa, and this is... I mean, as near as you can tell, this is the real Claire, unless she was somehow again duplicated elsewhere.
Layers upon layers. It's Claire's all the way down.
I can't say this is definitely Claire, unfortunately, because there was 10 years that you still can't account for. But you know she was taken, and a Rakshasa took her place here. And she helped reveal that. So if she was another layer, like that'd be some real long-term planning.
It's a very interesting long shot.
It's one Rakshasa taking out another Rakshasa.
Laramendus, with your knowledge of these creatures, do you know if their resistance applies to magic in general or specifically spells?
That is a question for the voice in the sky that Laramendus would answer to the best of his ability.
Luckily, I have the page on Rakshasa right here. Innate, limited magic immunity. Can't be affected or detected by spells of 6th level or lower unless it wishes to be. Has advantage on saving throws against all other spells and magical effects.
Okay. So it's not immune to other magical effects, but it could resist them.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean it would have resistance to magical damage?
It would have what?
Does that mean it would have resistance to magical weapon damage?
It says magical effects. It does not say magical Weapon attacks?
I don't think so, and if it did, it would be specifically called out in the resistance
I think
section.
so,
on,
yeah.
like, magical.
Immunities from non-magical
that last
attacks,
thing.
vulnerabilities. Yeah, I would say
that-
magic weapons are fine.
And the last thing lists saves specifically. It's not like weapons cause saves 99% of the time.
Mhm.
Voice of the Sky, I am going to send you a question because I don't want to poison the discussion pool with player knowledge in case the answer is no.
Okay. In my head, I'm just saying, and the hits keep on coming! So, how are people feeling about the revelation here?
That's definitely something we can't let lie. We need to resolve this.
Fucking, sorry. So, I had to answer a few questions. Claire is going to, look to the rest of the group and say, if there are answers that can be found with my help here, then it would probably be even better for your group that I stay rather than you try to hide me in whatever safe houses you can wrangle. She's going to look back to Lara Mendes and say, you believe me then? And you'll help me and let me help by being a test subject for you?
I think that the two of us together can see what we can do to get to the bottom of everything that's going on with you.
Maybe you'll be able to find a way to remove that device.
Maybe. The drow told me it was soul deep, so I'm not going to get my hopes up, but she, seems to be looking at Laramendus and away and back at him, says, I don't think that Nalia would have chosen you were you not tenacious. About magic, at least.
I do certainly trust their judgment about what they've learned, but that doesn't mean that we don't have different tricks up our sleeves to see what we can see. But I think tempering hope is a reasonable tactic.
And if it's all right with the Syndicate, I think it would help the city most if I remained here. And I thank you for everything. You brought me back to the sunlight, to the city. Maybe, if all goes well, I'll be able to get some semblance of my life back, and that is something that wouldn't have been possible without all of your efforts in finding safe places to store me, in protecting me from the monsters of the Underdark, in believing me when I told you something that you had no reason to trust was the truth.
It's the right thing to do.
Glad we could help.
Besides, I got it was a mission from the top. I had to follow the orders.
Yeah. Diligent in the duties, too. I think
if you decide to stay here, are you Are you ready to face Alia?
No.
She is currently away on business, which might keep her away for some time. Lerma says that to Claire.
So we have time. That's good.
She nods a bit sadly. Yeah. I'll find a way to be ready when the time comes. And it gives me a chance to get to know you a little better, Laramendis. We weren't around each other much before. And even less than you thought we were recently.
I look forward to working with you.
She's going to turn to the group and put out a hand toward each of Morrigan and Twilight. She's going to approach and try to kind of pull both of you to her into a kind of a hug. And after a few seconds, she's going to, push herself back, still just sort of breathing heavily with held back tears, and say thank you for the disguise and the concern, especially over my safety in the light of the political pitfalls we were coming up against. I know you'll find a way to save the city again. Just like the heroes did before. Just like you did, Laramendis.
I wish you all luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
Oh, if we can find the time, I would love to speak to you more about the work that you've been working on, and maybe work with you.
I think that would be lovely.
And maybe you can, you and my dad can start talking again.
I will see when the both of us have time. And he starts cocks because you get the impression that he's like thinking through his schedule and just going like paler as he continues to do so, because there is never enough time.
Yes, you both live very busy lives.
I do hope that I would not need to say this to all of you, but I'm going to say it anyway. The spell that you all witnessed is not to be shared. I will make certain that it is available to the more general public at the appropriate time. And when he says that, he does like look over at Ash, but now is not that. So
Not very Ion of you.
Ash pulses.
Everything that I know and everything that I have learned belongs to Ione in due time.
Ione recognizes that some knowledge can be more dangerous than helpful, and as she is less discerning of such things, she employs scholars like Laramendis to make those determinations in her stead.
Do give the Tiger's Eye my regards, and tell her that I'm glad that she has spent her form, so I no longer need to be concerned what she might ask for.
Alright. Given we're at time, I'm going to call it there. And we will pick it up next time on Desmond's Creek. Bye, stream.
Hi, stream.
Bye-bye.
Bye.